According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop it. Ass she the give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop it. Ass she the prophet. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settle. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, Jeremiah, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the problem. Step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pants through the fire. Ass she the prophets, that baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Plus your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
See, y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed through a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning to coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill, chill, yo, chill.
The industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They go waking sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. But feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
One West, 12 tribes, UPK. Yeah. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. Ever since a nigga was young, I knew what I wanted. Knew that we could either be hunters or with the hunted. Meaning only choice was the predators or the prey. Showed this man wherever I was, but I didn't play. Then I started spitting, set fire to every stage. Rap gave a little bit of buzz, but it didn't stay. Then I started hustling, getting at some bread. I always went broke, making sure that my niggas fed. But then I looked for loyalty, niggas, they wasn't there. The same that I shed blood for, and it wasn't fair. But fuck it though, turn they back on a real nigga. It's when I found UPK and I'm still with them. Drill with them, cause I've been in the field with them. Fringed up garments, rocking the shield with them. I never turn traitor, I never let my colors fly. Never get my brother's book. I ain't like that other guy, nothing like them funny groups. They just better get in line. If you in the middle, you confused, you should pick a side. Me, I must stay loyal to the king till the day I die. I am One West, head beating in my chest. Fuck all the rest, we stayed, y'all left. Suckers ran scared, had to clean up y'all mess. That's why we took over, I can see that y'all stressed. We ain't got time to worry about no hater. My life is like a movie, should come with a narrator. They gather data, they wanna see us assimilated. Marching through the streets, know we coming, you hear our cadence. All you smell is Henny and frankincense is the fragrance. Cause I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. The squad is forever. I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters, I'll ride for those letters. My squad is forever. It's forever. Squad is forever. When a nigga in this mode like I get so hyped, shining blinding like a strobe light. I'm my only calm, so I battle me back and forth nights. Like a bullfight, I see red charge and destroy Mike. Gave me foresight, so I know that winning the war might have them all tight. Fuck their feelings, cause they the soft type. I was always taught never turn your back on your brothers. Take on any enemy, know the strength in these numbers. UPK official, and ain't no coward among us. Don't make me go and bang with them sticks like I'm a drummer. How y'all gonna run with the style that we invented? You always talk the war was wild, but you never in it. All that coulda, shoulda, woulda. I see how you try to spin it. The way my soldiers move out, you think that we got evicted. There's One West in the building, we owning it while you renting. Lyrical exercise in the booth is my Planet Fitness. Words move you like calisthenics. Bars heavy, so when I bench it, I'm building up a hardcore. I flex when I'm finished. And right after a light workout, it's back to business. Group sick of UPK, cause we the illest. I got one question, will they ever stop hating? Waiting on this war so long, I'm salivating. Niggas turn bitch so strong, I call them Caitlyn. I get the green light, let's go, no hesitation. Y'all just been holding our spot like reservations. Now we back to work while you suckers still on vacation. Mixtape singles and even collaborations. They smiling in the face, but I know I see aggravation. You ain't got to hide it though, you fucking mighty cone. UPK bringing that heat, you know the fire's on. It's One West. Cause I'm a One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I ride for those letters, the squad is forever. One West rapper, no half stepper. Cross that path at the camp, you know better. UPK, I'll die for those letters. I ride for those letters, the squad is forever. It's forever. The squad is forever.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way.
Go ahead.
Tell him get the fuck off the beach.
Go ahead.
I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Vigi. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, and working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. When I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the sweet. Dang, y'all do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
One West is to raise, son. That's where I came from. That is my A1s. I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son. You cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one. This is the Matrix. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts, though. I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I could state them. I earn my spotted, they'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy. They got them blazing. They wanna love all these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine, go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days, we learned some hard ways. Always, just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, fuck you thought shit was. Cause nigga it wasn't. Know that I do this a dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days with no night vision, that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van, taking any given chance to blaze on the white man. Son of Benjamin, born on the right hand, never losing grip, I understand who I am. Met a man to show me the right path, now I'm rooted in the truth, to rule is my plan. And I can never lose sight like an eye exam. Sharp as iron, I was.
Look, I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole never wait, fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach, nigga. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 Vici. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be church. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the street. Tell y'all let's do the street. If a nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us, hit the lead. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach, nigga. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. You see, so my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we tanks. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit. I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach, nigga. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
One West is who raised, son. That's where I came from. That is my A1s. I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son. You cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one. This is the Matrix. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts, though. I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I could state them. Iron my spotted, they'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy. They got complacent. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine. Go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days. We learned some hard ways. Always. Just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, fuck you thought shit was. Cause nigga it wasn't. Know that I do this a dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming my fate. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days with no night vision, that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van, taking any given chance to blaze on the white man. Son of Benjamin, born on the right hand, never losing grip, I understand who I am. Met a man to show me the right path, now I'm rooted in the truth, to rule is my plan. And I can never lose sight like an exam. Sharp as iron, I was forged by fire, man. In the circle of life, how could I tell you, man? I was undesired, had no one, and then I met these men and it changed how I'm living. Their words was convicting, called that a life sentence. Now I need a witness, but no, I'm not Christian. My faith in these scriptures, man, not no religion, man. It's like Tazab, and I'm with my brother Katazab. Man, you niggas too sweet like baklava. Niggas better not make a nigga bring them choppers out. Better pray for your health like the doctors out. Just be faithful, one day you'll be thankful. Wonder why they hateful. Luckily I got angels. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm so thankful. Used to be ashamed, and even before I think,
still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. How much could I take? Stayed them. Iron my spotted, they'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy, they got complacent. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine, go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days, we learned some hard ways. Always, just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. That's thumbing up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does, fuck you thought shit was. Cause nigga it wasn't. Know that I do this a dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break, some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days with no night vision, that's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more, Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same, it's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van, taking any given chance.
Let's clap it up.
Clap it up, clap it up. All right. Hey, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushua brought the thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Allah Thumb Shem Yahushua to the sisters. This is the ISUPK, the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commanding General Yohan. We're coming to you live from the Twin Cities, Minnesota School. No Cowards, Minnesota. $UPK Minnesota on Cash App. If you're feeling that generous, pay your tithes. You can still go to the Zelle app is still working. Otherwise, get in contact with your school. If you go to ISUPK.com or .org, it should still give you that link for the tithes button, so you can still make your tithes and pay your tithes, make donations in that way. Otherwise, get in contact with the school and see if there's a different way that you need to go about it. So this is the Tuesday Brotherhood class, and the topic that we're going to be discussing today is listen, man, don't be emotional. Control your emotions. Watch that, especially in the aspect of getting a check-in or being corrected on a transgression. Even if it's something as presumably small, you might think you did something in your personal life that shouldn't be a reflection of the school, but unfortunately, because you got that oil poured on your head and you got named, it's going to be a reflection of the school. You can't take that lightly. Anywhere you go,
Right.
This is on you now.
That's right.
It's you can't escape this. You're affiliated. You drink the Kool-Aid. You've been jumped in. You've been initiated. All that fun stuff. It's a bond. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you got to look at the brothers that came before us. Even in Peter's time of weakness, he picked up his sword. He picked up his sword at the end of the day. You know, he made a regrettable choice, and then it dawned upon him the severity of that choice. And he remembered his vow, and
Right.
he picked up his sword.
That's right.
You know, Paul was a hardcore brother. James, John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, all of them were, they were down for the cause. And when you come into this truth, that's you're not a choir boy. You're not coming out of seminary college. You can be a priest. Like, turn my phone off. You can be an ordained priest online. Now let me say this too, for anybody that may have a disconnection with the comparisons and contrastings. I don't think that's a word, but we're gonna make one.
Right.
We're gonna make one. To compare and contrast how they get down versus how we get down. So now, like, I got my officership studying the classes on YouTube, and then attending some of the classes in Milwaukee and Chicago before we really had a scene down here like that.
Right.
So a lot of us got our officership online. That is completely different than going to a seminary college and being an ordained priest at the end of the day. Very different. It's this thing takes real world application and practical knowledge, hence the name.
Right.
It definitely comes into play there. Where we don't have the stigmatism or the stains as those other organizations. That's why the ISUPK and Commander Jenny Honda is not affiliated with any organization.
That's right.
And a lot of people, again, they get into their emotions about not only the separation that we make very clear. It's not a separation that we've created. It's a separation that's been stipulated in the Bible, in these records, between the men of God and everybody else. So maybe it's not us. Again, maybe we're just just full of it, and it's delusions of grandeur, all that fun stuff. You'd have to prove it. You'd have to prove us wrong. You're gonna have to battle us. You're gonna have to come toe to toe with the UPK at some point to
Right.
prove that point, to make that a valid point, because anybody can just say something. I mean, the internet is full of it. You got how many people like you got right now claiming that they are Jesus Christ? There's a good number of them. There's been a good number of them.
Right.
Like right now, today is not the first time that people have claimed that identity.
Right.
This has happened before, and it's happening right now. As we live and breathe, you got a handful of people that claim that they are Jesus Christ for whatever reason. Listen, Lord be with them, and I ain't trying to make a joke out of it either, because I mean, mental illness is a serious problem in our communities,
That's
and
right.
it should be held with that regard.
Right.
We don't want to see the destruction of brothers. The Most High don't want to see the destruction of brothers. We want to see us rehabilitated as a people, as a nation. That's the goal. That's the end game. So despite the contention that people see, the combativeness that we might show, the militancy or the general stubbornness that is of the ISUPK, probably so. Like Salaki, I don't know, we don't move. We're dumb like that. I don't know. We're that brick wall. We're that brick wall and we're that hard place that y'all get stuck between. It's I mean that's really a matter that, again, hey, Zephaniah 2:1. So like let's start there. Let's start on a friendly note. How about that?
Right.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse like. You got it. So,
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
at least we can start there. No matter how much we might hate each other or disagree with each other, or have arguments against one another's doctrine or identity. You got a lot of Negro only, a lot of people trying to bring Africans back into the fold. Osaki into the fold, period, not back into the fold, because Ham was never in the fold.
Right.
This thing dates back, and dates back to a time long past where I dare I say that the instruction was more simple, because again we were living in the times when it was established, so it was very clear cut, straight to the point. Where nowadays you got theological colleges, not just seminary colleges. You got theological societies and schools where they like really dig into the scriptures and try to disseminate the ifs, ands, and buts about it, the origins, the etymologies of words, the origins of some of the stories, because you can fact check all this stuff too. Like it's not just that it's contained in the Bible. This is an historical narrative on behalf of Israel and our interactions with other nations. The culture that we were given, that we grew up on, versus the other nations. Life is a battle, man. Life is warfare. Mm-hmm. It's always going to be a versus. It's always going to be a versus. And people need to stop being timid about that. Especially when they're trying to make allowances for somebody else that don't belong here, that shouldn't be a part of this, that's just going to drop their sword, that's not going to take this serious. You got a lot of Israelites right now that just belong flat out in the Christian church. They don't belong in that community. They don't deserve a voice. But you got YouTube, you got Clubhouse, you got TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and you got all these platforms for people that otherwise would never have been known. UPK been rocking since before the internet.
Right.
And we were known before the internet.
That's right.
That's also how you can tell the difference between that truth and that lie. So again, Zephaniah 2:1, man, let's at least gather together. we can at least kick it off there and start talking about the issues that are between our peoples and that we feel contentious about. It's like, okay.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
And if we get was that 1 Corinthians that you had?
Yeah, 1 and 10.
Okay.
All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua the Mashiach.
Because we at least all agree right there. We're at least trying to serve the Most High, no matter how we agree or disagree on the content of the Bible, on the history of the records, on the doctrine. We at least more or less all agree, from my understanding, for the most part, that we are still in service of the Most High.
Right.
And despite, I guess, Old Testament only believers, that we are subject to our King Yahushua. So again, there's that rank order that we submit to.
That's right.
What's like, if you could.
Done. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord King Yahushua Mashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no division among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
And if we can rewind that to speak the same thing, because this is the part that a lot of people that they struggle with. All right, so we ain't got all the truth over here, and like they'll even make the argument like not everybody's supposed to have all the truth. Like the truth is supposed to be divided. That's essentially what they're saying when they say we don't have all the truth. We got some of the truth, but somebody else might, and they'll say this too. Somebody else might have the truth. So they're already admitting that they don't have the truth, and they're going to say that somebody else might have the truth. So now you got to go seek out that one person or that one organization that might have the truth.
Right.
And then they're going to give you the same response. This has been proven time and time and over again. The same rhetoric. None of them are going to claim that they have the truth. Maybe it's our arrogancy. Okay. Maybe it's just us.
Right.
ISUPK is home to the Truth Defenders of the Faith.
That's right.
We do have the 100% unadulterated truth.
Right.
Of our records, of this Bible, of our history, of Israel. We carry that. The same way Yahushua carried it, the same way his disciples carried it. That's where we got this from.
Right.
So now you're going to have people out there, and it's a passive aggressive way of creating division.
Right.
Because they're going to try to convince you that can't nobody answer all the questions during the Bible because it's so mysterious. It's so elusive. It's such a frightening thing that the Bible can contain the truth in an intelligible way for us to understand, which is just not the case. It's like if you could start from that one point. That they speak the same thing.
God. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. Oh, just that part?
No, yeah, you can start from the top.
Okay. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua the King, the Mashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no division among you.
That we all speak the same thing, and that there's no division amongst us. So now, how do you reconcile that with the hundreds, if not thousands, of different doctrines and different practices and different approaches, different truths that individuals have? Because again, right now you got a handful of people that are claiming they are Jesus Christ, that don't need this book no more. They don't need the records no more because they're the walking, living proof of the Testament and of the law and of the blah, 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 blah. It's not the same thing. It's a division. And we need to have this happen. We're going to get to that one too. So I'm going to look that up too. About the heresies. We need the heresies.
Oh, yeah, heresies must come.
That's a lot.
Also, no, you all good one.
So I'll continue with this thing.
Okay, you got it.
Okay. That ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together. So now, again, that word perfect. A lot of people get scared about that word perfect. Perfection, according to the Bible, according to the Most High, is keeping the laws.
Right.
So now, in this context, in this instance, it's talking about, again, that ye all speak the same thing and that there be no divisions. That's that perfection that this is talking about. But that ye be perfectly joined. So that we're all speaking the same thing. There ain't no divisions amongst us. Together in the same mind and in the same judgment. We don't have a respecter of persons. Right. You're not gonna present somebody to the council over here that committed one crime, and because he may have a low standing in society, and mirror that with somebody else who may have a high standing in society, and expect us to cast a different judgment for them both just because of their social standards or just because of their wallet. It don't work like that. You can't buy the truth out.
Right.
You can't buy the truth out. You can buy men out though. And we've seen that exhibited in other organizations. That's why the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana is not affiliated with any other organizations.
That's right.
Verse 11, for it hath been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Chloe, that there are contentions among you. So now we're into a situation where the brother Paul is hearing about dissension in the school. And this is in Corinth. He's hearing about dissension in the school. And again, we can't have that. So it needs to be corrected. So now there are people that, and so like I didn't know I was gonna try to touch on this point, but I think it was the scripture that I brought out last week. Now it comes into a paradigm where we almost need Paul to hold our hands throughout the entire process, throughout the different schools and in completely different regions too, different locations, and we got to walk them through. Like we still need that school teacher. When we were taught better than that, we were taught stronger than that.
Right.
So now you got brothers that are teaching something against what we were initially taught. Brothers, or just brothers making a mistake on something that need to be corrected. And people are going to take issue with correction because, well, hell, you're a grown ass man. Can't nobody talk to you like that. You don't answer to no man. You're a grown ass man yourself. You got kids and you're done this, that, and the third, and you got some battle scars to show for it, and other acclamations that make you feel good about your self-esteem in the process of you about to get your life checked away.
Right.
Like don't be that proud. Don't be that proud. Don't be that arrogant and that ignorant to think that you can't be corrected.
Right.
Paul got corrected at one point. Peter got corrected at one point.
Right.
I think a number of the other disciples had to get checked.
Right.
It's not an uncommon thing to make mistakes. That correction comes with brotherhood. They wouldn't be correcting you if they didn't care about you, if they didn't want to see you succeed.
That's right.
So you can't take it to heart. You can't be that emotional about it. But you need to take it with the severity and the seriousness that's allotted to the situation. If you made a mistake, if you messed something up, if you went against a doctrine, if you misspoke, it could have just been something as simple as a misspeaking. Maybe you just said something in the wrong way with the wrong combination of words that gave a different interpretation, which is why you got to be very straight and succinct with your answers, with your response, with your answers, even with your questions. The questions that you ask people, you want to make sure that you're cutting them right down the middle.
Right.
And if you were to get an answer, your response to it needs to be right down the middle. We can't leave any gray area there.
Right.
That's not just a strategic move. It's to keep the integrity of the truth intact.
That's right.
So now, all right. So you'd have to do some history on this. I don't know if is that in the book of Josephus, the House of Chloe?
House of Chloe. I'm not too sure, but I would say
Zondervan. Yeah, I got that over here.
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna look this up real quick, just to give people a reference point for the House of Chloe. This was.
But it's like, if I could.
It's like kind of.
So like before you go into that, if I could, what you said was very important, and I just want to add on to what you say with a precept, which I'm going to put on the screen right here. All right, here we go. All right, and it reads Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace.
There you go.
Seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. So, just to reiterate what the brother has said, as far as, how to address people. You got to be careful what you say, how you say it, what you do, how you do it. You really got to be careful, because one thing you may be thinking that everything's all right until you get that checking. Maybe you misspoke. Maybe you went about a certain situation the wrong way. No sweat. When you get that, that pull to the side conversation or that check-in, whether it's light or harsh, don't take it to the heart.
Right.
All right. Do not be emotional about it. Simply just take it and just learn from it, and that's it. And just understand that there's still love and brotherhood at the end of that conversation.
Right.
Nobody hates you. Nobody is against you. Like, no one's attacking you. You made a mistake. You made an error. Just like the men above you made mistakes and error. How they found out was by getting checked.
Right.
We all been in that place, in that hot seat where you got chewed out for something that you did, whether it was verbal, physical, whatever the case may be. If it was not in the right spirit, you was gonna get called out about it. All right. So with that being said, Salaki, just watch yourself and everything. All right. Because it can cause some issues within yourself or those around you. And that's it, Salaki.
No, and that's a heavy adage to the point too. It is, how would I say this? It's not the end of the world.
Right.
If you're getting checked, you're not getting kicked out the school. You're not getting kicked out the nation. You know what I'm saying? No, it could happen. It could happen, but like if you're going through it, but if you're in the process of like just straight up getting checked, like
it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Like wipe your tears,
Right.
Like just sit up straight and just move on with your day.
And so like there could be a situation where you're getting checked, that is part of the process of you getting kicked out. There is that.
And once again, I just warn everybody, just be careful what you do.
Be very careful.
And how you do it, because once again, it can cause a lot of issues for you. All right, I'm just gonna say that, because
it's not just you here.
Yeah,
it's not just you. We are that hive mind kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's us.
Yeah,
it's not you. It's like
it's like, my bad. I apologize. If I may, like, you got to understand, like, things are not taken, like, certain things are not taken lightly. And really, we ain't got to run down no examples. Just once again, like, we take the work of the Lord very serious, as every Israelite should.
Right.
And if there's anything that is dividing the school, anything that is a threat to the school, once again, you will be dealt with and handled. All right. You will have to see somebody. You will hear somebody's mouth. you will get some punishment. Like, you got to be careful out here, all right? We have a nation to build. We don't have time
Right.
for mistakes and problems. And that's why we teach these classes to avoid those issues.
Right.
So that
Right.
way we don't ever have to get to that point. Once again, do not get comfortable or complacent.
Right.
That is going to be your downfall.
Right.
That is going to get you in so much trouble. All right, you want to avoid that. You want to avoid Satan and all his devices, Esau and all his devices. As much as you can. Stay in class. Study up. All right, listen to your husband. Listen to the man that's over you. Okay, and that's it.
No, kind of, and that's directly like to the heart of the matter. Like,
Yeah.
we ain't got that time to waste.
Right.
And we're in the meantime, how would I say this? Until our kingdom is redeemed, until Yahweh our king gets sent back,
Right.
and everything gets flipped over, the responsibility that falls on our shoulders ain't no light thing.
That's
So
right.
don't take it as a light manner. At the same time, when you're getting checked, when you're getting corrected, don't get so broken-hearted about it. Don't be so emotional. Y'all ever seen the movie? I was bringing this up with some brothers in a different chat on Clubhouse. Y'all ever seen the movie Inglourious Bastards?
Mhm.
There was one point at the end of it where Brad Pitt, after he had shot a couple of them Nazis, when he was bringing that one Nazi prisoner that was going to be a defector to America, that dude was like, because he just killed the Nazi homeboys, and then dude was like, oh, we made an agreement. They're gonna shoot you. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna put you on the stake or whatever hell he said. And Brad Pitt was like, nah, I'm gonna just get chewed out. I've been chewed out before. Listen, take it like a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, you've been yelled at before. If you can't handle that, this is not the home for you. There's purple T-shirts out there for you. Plenty of them. Plenty of them. All you got to do is like sign, contract and NDA and all that. You're good to go, I guess. And give them all your money, and maybe throw some false accusations on some brothers, for whatever. But all right. So the house of Chloe. So in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, Chloe, a woman whose people inform Paul of contentions in the Christian church, in the Corinth church. It's like a Corinthian church. Yeah. Where she lived and how her people gained their information is not told, but she was well known to the Corinthian Christians by her personal name. So this was a woman of a house, whether it was built up of her own or her family's reputation, still of good standing in that community, giving a report about Israelites.
Right.
That were governed under Paul, that were established under Paul, of wrongdoings. She was given a report. That's why you gotta be careful on social media. You gotta be careful in public on what you do, thinking that it's like can't nobody see me, don't nobody know me. Especially if you got a cover. But you shouldn't be trying to hide yourself either.
Right.
So if you get reported on, that's why there's only one doctrine. It's why there's only one faith, one baptism, and that's just it. Otherwise, if you go out there trying to think that you know the Bible and get cut, that reflects bad on the school. So this is a reflection from the church in Corinth that reflected bad on Paul. Because all right, so now there was also that all right, because he was very succinct on his point. So verse 11 for it hath been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Chloe. So again, associates of the house of Chloe, that there are contentions among you. So he's hearing reports about that school in Corinth. He's hearing reports about that school in Corinth that don't add up, that ain't making sense for everybody else. Verse 12. Now this I say, that every one of you saith, I am of Paul, and I have Apollos, and I have Cephas, and I have Christ. So now he just went over like the rank and order right there of that school, the leaderboard.
Right.
This is how you establish the pedigree that you grew up with. We trace ours back. And it makes a lot of people angry and uncomfortable, which is okay, because they try to trace theirs back, and it normally kind of stops off at an awkward point. Verse 13, is Christ divided? Was Paul crucified for you? Or were ye baptized in the name of Paul? Verse 14, I thank God that I baptized none of you, but Crispus and Gaius. So now he's talking about the people that he personally had raised up. Because the other people that came into that school were like, these are the, so those people that the contentions are written about or complained against, like he's not taking credit for them because he's not the one that raised them up.
Right.
So now so now you got to look at that rank and order again. So now he raised up Crispus and Gaius. So now everybody else that came in under them, again, should be claiming the same. I am of Paul. I am of Apollos. I am of Cephas. I am of Christ. The same way that we would go back to listen. Commander General Yohanan, the 7 heads.
Right.
Yahushua, this, that, and the third. Like we trace our lineage back. We trace our pedigree back. Verse 15, lest any man should say that I had baptized in mine own name. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to put that stain on Paul because you decided to mess up. So now, you're also not going to put that stain on. So like, I got men that are over me that, got brothers that are over them. They got brothers that are over them. If I were to go off, that responsibility falls on the men that are directly over me, the men that are directly over them, so on and so forth. Again, which would exhaust that pedigree, which is not something that we can. Again, you can't take this thing lightly.
Right.
Especially if you're not the one responsible for it. You got a lot of people out there that just play pretend, and they're not going to ever take accountability for what they've been taught, who they've been taught by, because at the end, all right. So at the end of the day, they're always, from the conversations that I've had personally, they're always going to say, "Well, God taught me. I read the book, and that's how I know. I taught myself. I don't listen to no man. This, that, and the third. God taught me." But when we look at what you're studying and what you're preaching and what you're teaching, God, like, that's not what God teaches.
Right.
That's not what Paul taught. That's not what Apollos taught, or Cephas, or Yahushua taught. You can't go off your own doctrine. You can't just go off on a whim. That's why troopers do not teach.
Right.
That's why we have an officer's test. That's why we have, I ain't going to go into too much detail, but that's why we have our protocol. The Bible has a protocol too.
That's right.
And it teaches that you cannot just give this away. Because going back to verse 10, now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, that we all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. So now the only reason why this is getting brought up is because there was an allegation against the school. Something was wrong. Something was wrong. Something maybe it was a presentation, maybe it was somebody's actions. It doesn't specify right there, but it does show that there was a division. That something was not taught the right way, wasn't delivered the right way. That's why we have to be that much more stringent on to keep that narrow path safe. Because if you open it up, you're gonna have to allow for negotiations and what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I guess negotiations is the proper term for it. You're gonna have to make deals with somebody else's belief system, somebody else's way of life, especially if they're in that LGBTQ plus whatever the hell community. You're gonna have to make negotiations, and you have to make allotments for them to be accepted, to be not only heard, but to be a judgmental voice on our nation's activities. Like imagine that. Imagine if you were, imagine if you were to leave the judgment call to Jeffrey Dahmer on what were to happen in Israel. Knowing that person, knowing that individual, his history, his past, his reputation. If you were to deliver certain matters to him, Lord knows what he would devise in his own head. But that would not be an appropriate judgment source for the truth. Because again, look at it. So now you also had situations like the two elder perverts that were trying to seduce and run a train on Susanna.
That's right.
Like this is why the truth has to be not only that safeguarded and protected, but that like stubbornly just resilient. Like you gotta be annoying to other people, damn near. Like you gotta be so protective about this that people are mad at you because you're protecting it that rough. That you ain't gonna let nobody in, you're gonna take no consideration for nobody that don't belong here. That you're gonna be that black and white about it. Like people get mad about this. People shut down, people get very offended and try to report you, and they shut down our YouTube pages, our Facebook profiles, and our TikTok accounts, like all this. They shut us down because of how stringent we are on keeping the integrity of the truth.
That's right.
You can't let that waver. So just move on real quick.
Did you still want the heresies?
Yeah, if you got that comment.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 19. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you.
Those that make it through the fire, those that make it through the trials, I mean, they're gonna be signed off on. But there needs to be them heresies in the nation so that they can see the difference. They can see what it is and what it ain't.
Right.
That's why the Lord had made that allowance. Well, not slack it. That's the wrong way to put it. But that's why that demon on Creflo Dollar and Eddie Long and T.D. Jakes and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson had free reign to flourish, to show the difference, because those men already had that spirit on them.
Right.
To be corrupted, to be divisive. Yeah, like y'all want to talk about how divisive we are. Y'all want to talk about how divisive we are. Shit, man, they all inclusive to the point of child molestation,
right?
To the point of rape, to the point of adultery, to the point of millions of dollars of embezzlement. They are all inclusive. Y'all want to bitch and moan, like y'all want to complain to us about us being divisive and inclusive, or it's like exclusive. Y'all want to complain about us and not letting everybody in here.
Right.
And this is the reason why. So I can read that from the top again. This is the reason why it has to be like this. And a lot of people don't understand this. I got into a couple battles with some people that just again, they didn't get the point about why we were so staunch and stubborn again on the points of how close we keep this to home. They don't get it because they can't wrap their heads around not only the demons that are just floating about in the world, but the programs and organizations that are completely dependent on us sinning and us being criminals and committing crimes themselves. Again, human sex trafficking is still a real thing.
Right.
That happens every day across America, all across North, Central, South America, all over the Eastern Hemisphere too.
Right.
It happens. That's a real thing. Maybe y'all don't know about this. Maybe y'all never heard about heroin. I pray you didn't. You know, I'm looking forward to a time where crystal meth is like a myth.
Man.
Crystal myth. I'm gonna rename it that. I'm gonna rename it crystal myth instead of crystal meth.
Right.
But right now, that's still a real thing. Heroin would never exist again no more under a righteous rulership. But Salaki, if you could, this is why it has to happen.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 19. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you.
There's gotta be them type of people that's gonna show the difference, and it's a rough thing. It's a rough burden, not only on that person, but again, like on the nation too. Like we sitting there looking at people that transgress the law and are being praised for their position in society.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a weird thing to be on that side of the fence looking at world influencers, like international influencers that are making millions and millions of dollars on their journey of, you know, like their missionary, well, I'll pause, but like their mission, I don't even know what they call it anymore. Goddamn, I've been so outside of that church. What do they call it?
No, I mean, like I said, a mission, their goal to be, you know,
Like to travel across to China and to Istanbul or whatever the hell
make money
to preach the gospel,
right,
while they're taking children with them.
Right.
They're taking our kids with them. Sometimes they don't come back.
Right.
And sometimes they come back different. Those are the heresies. And that's why it needs to be a very stringent, very selective for the men to the men and money. Like, we gotta be assholes about this. Like, we gotta be jerks. Like we gotta be so like in your face about it. At the same time, I mean, we're respecting everybody's boundaries. You know, we don't want to. We can't hurt too many feelings, but in the spirit, I guess I should say that. Like, you gotta be that rough about it, to where like you ain't gonna move, you ain't gonna give no allowance to it. You ain't gonna let your children go on certain field trips. You sure as hell ain't gonna let them go with Eddie Long overseas. You know what I'm saying? Like look at that man's reputation, and he was supposed to represent the Bible. He was supposed to represent the church. He was supposed to represent the people.
No, just if I may, based on what you just said,
Oh.
pretty heavy on the point of you. Okay, I mean, in a nutshell, what I heard from you is that we have to do more in order to avoid the sex trafficking, to avoid all the heresy, all the lies, all the misinformation that Black Hispanic people are partaking in or have been has partaken in, right? So with everything that you just said, I just want to pull the precept, if you don't mind. 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 10. We are fools for Christ's sake.
There you go.
But ye are wise in Christ. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. And so, Salaki, so the reason why I brought that precept out is just to let you know, like, how the brother said, like, we might have to be assholes. Well, in a sense, I wouldn't say necessarily assholes, but at the same time, though, like, we are gonna, like the IHBK in a sense, like, when we talk about the Lord, like, people get upset. Like, when a lot of people think that we are forcing crowns on people's head. We are trying to force people to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. No. If we wanted to force you, it would be unlawful in the sense of us trying to hurt you to keep the law. But that's not in the spirit, all right? If you notice, if you read the Bible, back in the Bible, if you did not keep the law, statutes, and commandments, what would happen? You would get stoned to death.
Right.
Ain't nobody stoning you in 2022.
Right.
You know what I mean? We are not doing nothing unlawful or unjust. What we are doing is giving you the words of the Most High. Because if you don't hearken to it, it's going to be bad for you and your family and your children. You know what I mean? It's going to be bad for everybody. So that's why we just, we do what the Lord tells us to do. And we are fools for Christ's sake. We are going to go above and beyond because we are about our Father's business. We are about this work of the Lord. All right. And also, too, always remember that you have a debt to pay to Christ.
That's right.
That's what you had to remember. Now, if we did everything that the Lord said to do under the leadership, with Christ, setting the foundation in the earth, if we did everything that we was told to do, there would never be no sex trafficking. There would never be any violence, wars going on in the earth. Ain't nobody saying it's going to be rainbows and sunshine, but there's definitely going to be decency and order.
Right.
All right. And our oppressor will be put in his place, rightfully, which is in slavery under the Israelites.
That's right.
So that's what we mean when we say we are fools for Christ's sake, meaning that we are going to enforce this law. Just like the police enforce the laws, we are going to enforce the law, statutes, and commandments as prophet and priest of the Most High. That is our duty and that is our right to do so. And no one can stop us. Either you are going to sit down or lay down. You're going to get with the program, otherwise you're not going to get with the program. Either if you do not get out of the way, it's better that you get in line. Otherwise, if you are in the way, you are going to be knocked down.
Right.
You are going to be stomped over. Meaning that nothing can stop the work of the Lord. You can bring all your Christianity. You could bring all your religion, all your whoredom, all your LGBT, whatever, homosexuality. You can use any device that goes against what the Most High is saying, but at the end of the day, the Most High will have the last say so. The Most High will triumph everything that you got going on. All right, and you will have. Everybody's going to have to answer to the Most High sooner or later.
That's right.
So if you think that you're fine living in the way that you live in,
that's right.
All right, keep thinking that. But sooner or later, you will have to answer to the Most High. Us, however, we decide to serve the Lord, and we are fighting every day because it's not easy. Every day can be just fine until that one day some almost gets you back into your old self. It gets you back to that filth, that disgusting person that you was before you came into the truth. It's a fight every day, and if you're comfortable and complacent, you are going to lose the battle. Time and time again.
Right.
And I pray you understand, man. And hey, ain't no wrong with counsel.
All right.
You fight demons. You fight those demons off when you get that counsel.
That's right.
When you don't get that counsel, there's a strong chance that Satan is going to win. All right, it's like I just had to say that.
Nah, hey, calm, slap that up. Slap that up. That's directly addressing the issue that we're dealing with today, man. Like,
right.
You got too many people that are too soft, that are afraid to have them conversations.
Right.
That are afraid to get talked to like that. Again, you're a grown ass man. Can't nobody else tell you what to do. Listen, man, y'all like the spirit of brotherhood. Y'all like the spirit of sisterhood. That's not how we are. Like, y'all, psychologically, most people only act like that because that's what they're afraid. Like there is a trust issue there, and it's understandable because I mean, look how many times we've been lied to and betrayed. It's understandable, but you're not gonna talk like that to the supervisor on your job. You never would have said that to Moses, but you give contention in modern times with the authority that we speak with. You don't respect it. You don't like it. Again, it hurts your feelings. Listen, you gotta stop being emotional about it. This ain't about you as an individual. This is about this kingdom, and if you want to be considered, I mean, you gotta put your brick in. Your brick don't come without being tested. It don't come in without being approved. You can't throw, if we talking about bricks, you can't put a stone in place of a brick and expect that to work out the same way. You can't put in something that you just made up yourself without being tested and approved and expect it to work out the same way. This brotherhood, this truth, this sisterhood, this truth, it comes with refinement, and it comes with, as many people don't like it. I mean, it comes with open arms. It certainly ain't for everybody, but it's, how would I say this? It's for you. It's for Israel. It's for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's for us. Just we are the ones the same way that we have rejected Yahushua, we reject the truth too. You got some people out there that want to say that our records were never written down. But the Vatican had stolen our scrolls.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the contradictory. That's the heresy that abounds.
Wow.
Without us keeping that firm line between the truth and subjective reality.
Right.
Like there is a very black and white truth on earth and in the universe. Right. Very black and white truths. But some people just got, their truth. That's why they call it their truth. What your truth, my truth, their truth, our truth. Like that's such a garbage philosophy to teach, because again, you gotta compromise. You gotta negotiate. You gotta give an allowance to a whole bunch of things that otherwise you personally would not accept, but because of the pressure from society, now you gotta make room for it. Otherwise, you're gonna be persecuted. Somebody's gotta be willing to take that bullet. When we were going over the history of the Feast of Dedication in Hanukkah, we read the story of some people that were willing to take that bullet because they were not willing to compromise or make considerations for another way of life that was in direct opposition of what they were governed by the Most High. So now Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7. If ye endure chastising, it's like you're chastening. God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? So like if the Most High didn't claim you, he wouldn't try to correct you.
Right.
He wouldn't try to give you. He wouldn't try to, you know, walk you back down like that narrow passage. He wouldn't try to put you back on that straight road. He would just let you wander the flip off. And then, all right. So this is in Malachi, or it's like this is in Hebrew. The other one I was thinking of was in Malachi, but we're gonna get to that in a second. Damn, I lost it. Shucks. All right, we'll get back to it. Verse 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. So again, if the Most High ain't sitting there taking that time to correct you and giving you these records, giving this back to you, you're not considered by him. You're not part of his. You're not part of his family. You're not part of that family tree no more.
Right.
If he's not correcting, if he's not giving a judgment on you, which is why, what was that in Psalms 147?
How the Most High gave his laws, statutes, and judgments unto Jacob.
Under Jacob,
yeah,
under the verse.
147, 19 through 20.
There you go. Look at Psalms 147, 19 through 20. Mm-hmm. Who he had given his judgment and his statutes and commandments unto. If you're not gonna be, again, if a father don't chastise or correct his kids, he don't care about his kids like that. He don't want to see them do better. He's just gonna let them continually messing up and create problems, not only for themselves but also for your family too, for the reputation of your household. And so we fall victim to a lot of these things, not just by the examples that we've, honestly, I would say mainly by the examples that we've seen, not just, but mainly by the examples that we see in modern society ruled under this kingdom, to be jealous, to be haters of one another. To be covetous, to be lustful, to be in want of the things that we can't necessarily provide for ourselves as a people, even though there are resources that we can go to patronize our own nation. It costs a little bit more because we don't have the same advantages that, the Fortune 500 American companies that were, kind of established and governed under that Constitution and, Declaration of Independence and things like that, because we were certainly not in consideration at that time. So we idolize that. We don't buy and sell enough with each other, unless it's for drugs. Unless it's for drugs, you can definitely go to the ghetto, go find you a brother, and you can definitely deal and sell and buy to and from with drugs. You can definitely do a whole lot of that. Whole lot of crime, whole lot of prostitution, whole lot of sin. You can buy and sell a whole lot of sin amongst your brothers, but we don't have enough outlets and resources for us to buy and sell just necessities. We don't have that amongst each other. You got Walmarts, you got Cub Foods, you got gas stations and corner stores like crazy. That ain't none of us own. We might work there because you might have to speak to the Spanish speaking population in that neighborhood, but you don't own them joints. You don't own the land. You don't own the property. You just on that merchant level, and you buying and selling poison to your people. Cigarettes should not be a thing. Blunt wraps shouldn't be a thing.
Right.
That should not exist. Because our enemies, they send their kids to us. And again, we talked about this a few weeks ago. You're smoking cigarettes, you're smoking weed, you're smoking blunts, you're inviting cancerous material into your body.
Right.
If you don't have a strong diet, immune system, this, that, or the third, you're just setting yourself up for a failure.
Right.
So now,
It's like definitely inviting demons.
definitely inviting demons. Definitely inviting demons. So now you yourself, you're buying cigarettes and blunts and all types of like just crazy junk food, like nasty ass food from the gas station. You buying all that and you're sending their kids to, through medical school, through their bar exam. Us being criminals sends their children through law school. Us being sinners and not only with dietary afflictions, because we're not eating, according to the code. Not only dietary, moral and community laws that we're breaking. Again, adultery, theft, things like that. All these laws that against the Bible that we are breaking, we're sending their children to medical school, through law school, through to become police officers, to become military, to become POs. I mean, we're just feeding their program. We're feeding their systems, their institutions.
Right.
Whereas otherwise, if we were to stop selling drugs and committing crimes against each other, because that's predominantly who we're doing that to, we would collapse their infrastructure slightly. So.
No, it's like you got a good point. Like pretty much like, they go to Yale and we go to jail.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so their success, so when they're successful, we fail as a people. And they show that from time to time again, you know what I mean? And also too, there's things out there, of course, devices that they make it harder for us to be on a level of success because they want us to be at the bottom. You feel me? Because in their eyes, everybody can be at the top, which I do understand that. Since the beginning of time, someone has always been at the top, someone has always been at the bottom. However, how the Most High order was that the fact that the children of Israel was supposed to be at the top and our enemies are supposed to be at the bottom. But if that was the case, this world would be upside down and have decency and order once again. There will be no such thing as crime. There will be no such thing as sex trafficking and all the other topics that you mentioned before. And I just want to say that's lucky.
No, kind and that's. But people would rather march and protest and sign petitions, pass petitions around. Like that's gonna do anything. You got one nutcase out there that's trying to pass around a petition to dethrone the Pope. After all of the sex trafficking and child molestation and pedophilia charges and allegations that have been against that church and against these popes and they priests, do you think a petition is going to stop them? Like it's a foolish way to think. Whereas, and this part has been proven, that petition thing has never seen the light of day. We've been petitioning and marching and protesting for too damn long. And it hasn't yielded anything, any benefits, any fruit. What has produced fruit, though? Rock with me on this. What has produced fruit? Because we had certain communities, and especially during the Depression of the United States, while our communities were not considered, we weren't tethered into that social structure, so we just left to our own while they were dealing with their own problems.
Right.
We didn't have drug abuse because we didn't have drugs predominantly. predominant. Not to say that, certain things did not exist at certain times, but predominantly, we did not have drugs in our communities, which was one of the main tools that were used. It wasn't part of our lifestyle. It wasn't something that we accepted into our neighborhoods. Versus a petition, like just signing your name on a piece of paper or on a web page, because that's all it is. I ain't trying to, break nobody's seal that's got something like that emotion, except for Yaju, except for Dude. Everybody else that's trying to make a push for something conducive, I certainly wouldn't want to break your spirits, but just give you a little understanding of reality and practicality. A petition is not going to work. What would work is if we stop doing drugs.
Right.
Is if we stop robbing each other. Is if we stop committing adultery. Is if we stop selling drugs. On top of just not doing drugs, stop selling drugs too. Stop stealing from one another. It may be a hard temptation to resist, but with the correction that's given in the Bible, again, the same topic that we're talking about, stop being emotional. The same correction that's given in the Bible to influence us to refrain from that lifestyle and from them actions, that would crumble this nation. That would crumble this kingdom. If we stop going to jail, like, could you imagine 2 million plus brothers and sisters that are locked up in the system right now, not in jail?
Right.
They get like what, $30,000-$40,000 depending on the state that you're in. Yeah, they get like $30,000-$40,000 per year for your body in jail. That would take us a lot farther than a petition. Against the Pope. Against the Pope of the Vatican. Do you think signing some papers, signing a website, a petition log is going to dethrone some of the people that have a direct hand in, again, human trafficking, human sex trafficking rings? Do you think a petition is going to stop that? No. Us raising our families according to our culture, which is illustrated in this Bible, that would prevent our children from seeking refuge in somebody else's arms, trying to be so rebellious. We've lost contact with the spirit and with the nature of our people, with how we would otherwise conduct ourselves had we not been influenced by them. We lost touch with that. These records help bring us back to them roots. And it's an important thing to pay attention to. Because if you don't pay attention to the signs of the times, all right, so again, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. Like you need to take that check-in with adulthood. You need to be a man about it. You need to be a woman about it. Take that check-in, like, because how would I say? Because it's not like you haven't been talked to rough before. Just take it with that crumb of salt. Like, well, not slack it. That's the wrong way to put it too. But take it with heart. Take it with brotherhood. Take it with sisterhood.
Right.
Because again, it's not the end of the world if you're being chastised. Because again, the Most High is letting you know, like, if He's chastising you, that means you're his son. That means you're his daughter. I know it only says son here, but that's also inclusive of the sisters. So he does also mean like you are a son, you are his daughter. You're his kid, basically, which is I guess a unisex ambiguous term. You're his kid if he's chastising. Other nations are going to try to take what's going on with them as chastisement, which for them is just the punishments of their transgressions of their forefathers. We've already been living through that. So as we're trying to come back home and find our identity and what our culture is, we might have to take some check-ins along the way. And take it with pride. Take it with solidarity. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't be that emotional about it. That because you got to get checked on, you got to stop smoking weed. You got to stop doing drugs. You got to stop doing this, that, and the third. Again, you're a grown-ass man or woman. Can't nobody talk to you. Can't nobody tell you what's right or wrong, of course, because you already know everything, which is the reason why you're in the messed up predicament that you in. And a lot of y'all are going to be my life is good. My life is good. I ain't got no problems. You're also putting too much confidence in that. How would I say it? In the infrastructure that's supporting the lifestyle that you have, especially for a lot of like social media, like entrepreneurs and you got people that are making money off of TikTok and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Like it all sounds good, but when the internet goes down, where are your views then?
Right.
Who's gonna pay for your sponsorship then? Do you think any of those companies they're not gonna be able to get in touch with you? Where's all that value then? Acting like in this digital age, like something like that can't collapse right around you. You're putting too much confidence into the wrong things, and you're not giving your subjection unto the Most High. You're giving your subjection unto your father, the devil, unto that mark of the beast that's going to get put in your forehead, that's going to get put in your right hand. Again, those are your thoughts and your actions, your allegiance, your claim like to whoever you're going to be supporting. A lot of y'all don't want to believe it because again, like look how beautiful life looks on TikTok and all those shorts and all the memes. Look how beautiful life looks. Look how easy and simple it is. Look how easy and simple it is to make money and to be famous. All you need is some views. All you need is, a couple thousand to 1 million likes and shares and thumbs up and followers. And of course, that's not going to be dependent at all on your internet connection. Because obviously once, if that were to, go out one day, that the viewers are going to be the same and your following is going to be the same, and those people that never met you a day in their life are still going to support your actions because all they see is that superficial and what do they call them? That superficial mannequin that you're portrayed as. Like it's not, first off, you, like that's not even you in real life. 9 out of 10 times, that's not even you in real life on social media. So you got all these people that are believing in a fake you. Social media goes down. What are you going to be representing? How are you going to be in touch with the people? You don't know them. You never knew them. They've never met you. That's why it's important to get to know the brothers that are around you. Get to know the sisters. Build that infrastructure in this nation so that even if the internet were to go down, power goes out, we know where to go. We've got our instructions moving forward. Until then, we're gonna beat up social media.
Right.
So if ye endure chastening, God dwelleth with you as with sons. You're gonna be in you're gonna be in good standings with the Most High. He's dealing with you as a son, as a daughter, as a child. He cares for you. You're gonna have that kind of like how to say that hedge over you. You're gonna have that loving protection, correctiveness, that chastise that obviously needs to happen because you did something. You did something, and don't let that break your heart. You ain't the only one who's transgressed the law, even after coming into the truth. But you're gonna have to get corrected. You can't let that stand. You can't let that be alone. So now you gotta receive that judgment. And you can't be a coward about it. I mean, unless you did something that bad. Ooh. Listen, hey, definitely Lord be with you. At that point, you're like, there's some things that you just can't turn back from. You can't, especially after you know the truth, you can't turn back from that.
Right.
So this is meant to keep you from destroying yourself, from destroying your loved ones. And if you don't know the law, this is why we got classes.
Right.
This is why we got all types of social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Clubhouse. We're all over the place. You can find us anywhere. You got to make that. You got to take that step though. You got to make that commitment. Otherwise, it's not going to benefit you. Anything that we're saying right now ain't going to benefit you because you might think that you know better or that, well, your life is good enough without. All right. That's fine. It's your choice. It's your choice. Again, that's not free will, but that's your will. And all I'm saying is you don't want to be the reason why there's examples of heresy and why there needs to be that division. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that example of what heresy is versus the truth. You got a lot of people out there, a lot of institutions that claim, certain things. And that's why they get shot up. That's why somebody can walk right into their church and shoot it up. And that's why their church can shut down completely, but still tell you to pay your tithes without giving any counseling or consideration or providing any means for the people. That's why there needs to be this difference. That's why you need to be chastised if you need to be chastised. And if you gotta be chastised, just like, listen, man, let yourself be at rest. Like, all right, yeah, it's gonna happen, this and that, but they ain't kick me out. They ain't kick you out the nation. They didn't stone you to death. They chastising you. They correcting the mistake that you made. They ain't stoning you to death.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. You ain't gotta be that paranoid or that traumatized by the concept of it. Just because you see how we, kind of walk and talk. Because it's no different than Yahushua and his disciples and his brother. They did the same damn thing, man. They done kicked people out of the temples. They done Peter done swiped somebody's ear off. I'm saying there weren't no punks. And all of them brothers, even until the point, who was it? There was two brothers, James, I think. James and his brother, who, when Yahushua had seen them fishing, and they kind of questioned it, and Yahushua was still like, listen, stop that, follow me. They had that initial doubt. We have these records here right now to prevent that initial doubt. And it's not up for debate. It's not up for interpretation. It's not up for anybody's individual understanding. And the correction that's given in the UPK and the Commanding General Yohana, that is prescribed as in the Bible, that's also not up for anybody's judgment or consideration.
That's right.
You don't get to pick and choose how these things get dealt with when you're on the outside looking in. Our nation, our people, we need correction.
Right.
I don't know if y'all know the cities that y'all live in. There are nice communities of our people, with our people in there, and where the crime rate is low and the murder rate, ain't really no drugs around there, drug dealing. There are little, I mean, very rare and tiny, itty bitty little pockets of that. And again, Lord be with you and yours.
Right.
But for the most part, our people, the environments that we live in, we need correction. We need guidance. We need rules and laws to be checked and governed by. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on committing the same crimes that we all talk against. We all talk against it. Don't nobody want to stop that cycle though, because there's still millions of brothers in the prison system that are in there for again the same things that we are talking about right now. They got 10, 15, 20, 25 years. That's also spiritual because of who we are as a people in this captivity. Because you'll have one of our oppressors' own people commit the same crime. And depending on who he is, his social status, last name, bankroll, he'll get a completely different sentence. So we cannot continue to rely on them for their justice. We have to turn back to our records and what governed us as a people. So again, if you get corrected, if you get checked, listen, don't be so emotional about it, man. Take it like a man. Take it like a man. Take it like a brother. Take it like a sister. Don't be so if you're getting checked, if you're getting corrected, I mean, listen, again, it's not like you're getting kicked out. It's not like the Lord is turning his back on you. He still put you in a position to where you are amongst brothers that would give you the proper guidance and give a proper judgment on the situation that you might be in. And this school is proof of that.
That's right.
Because you got a lot of brothers and sisters that were in precarious situations that after they took the counsel and after they got corrected and got checked, straightened their life out and became somebody, you know what I'm saying, like now I don't even say necessarily brand new, but amplified. The spirit on some of these brothers and sisters, man, like that was them back in the world coming into the truth. They are that times 10, times 20, times 144,000.
Right.
Like it's something very dynamic, something that we take for granted because you got schools and you got teachers that'll break down the Bible. Because you know that you're an Israelite, now you think, oh, you're invincible. You got a shield, a bulletproof shield around you. When that's not the case. It's like not always the case, I should say. Again, Lord be with you and your family. Let them angels, continue protecting our people. But you got some people out there that are so arrogant that they just going off their own hope and their own whim. It's like, sure.
The Bible does say, the Bible does say, this is what Paul said, if a man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. I mean, simple as that. Like some people are going to be so stuck in their ways. Like you can just talk to them so many different ways about the things that they should do for their life. because you love them so much, you actually care about them and you want them to do better in their own life. And a lot of people think that it's passing judgment and stuff like that. Look, let's take all of that out of the question, right? If you really care about somebody, you let them know, hey, don't touch that stove. It's hot.
Right.
You feel me? Don't do this, don't do that. Well, only God can judge you. No sweat, you're right, because God is going to judge you. If you don't listen to me as being a person who actually cares about you, want to see you do good in your life, I mean, then bad things are going to happen to you. So yes, God will judge you. All right? But it's better that you take this correction, you know what I mean, this tough love, me caring about you and your well-being as a sign of I need to change this and change that, stop doing this and start doing that. You know what I mean? Just so that way the people that love you can see you succeed.
All right.
Some people, it's so sad because we live in a world where you tell somebody to do something, oh, you hate it. Oh, you think you're better than me. No, that's what you're saying. That's what you think. But I mean, there is definitely a way to identify if someone is being funny with you. Someone is not really on your side. Someone's not really supporting you. But in the case of if somebody tells you, hey, stop smoking, you want to know why? It's going to give you cancer. Nobody's hating on you. Okay? Like we just don't want you to die. That's all.
Right.
All right?
Right.
It's my life. I can do whatever I want. Well, if you continue that mentality, sooner or later you are going to die. You are going to find yourself tied up in all types of situations to where it's going to feel like, oh my gosh, it's going to feel like hell. So yeah, be as grown as you want to be. You know what I mean? Do whatever you want to do with your own life. But when it comes time to where you need help, I mean, hey, you ran everybody off.
Right.
What can you say? Who can you call? Now you're going to be looking at yourself in the mirror, dumbfounded. And Lord be with you, because there might be people who still might, actually sincerely help you. But if there are not people out there to help you, that's your fault. All right? Be kind, be affectionate, prove a friend. Really genuinely listen to the people around you and see if they are with you or not. If they are healthy for your well-being or not. Okay? Because although you hang around certain people doesn't always mean that they are for you.
Right.
Be careful with the company that you keep. Because people can be in your ear, you're thinking that they are a friend to you, but they're a whole goddamn demon in the flesh.
Right.
They want you to do all types of illegal things, and now your ass is in jail. Now you're dead somewhere. Like, come on now. Be smart. Be vigilant, like the Bible says. And be sober. When it says to be sober, it's not talking about necessarily being a drunk. Of course, don't be a drunk, right? But be sober in all aspects, meaning don't be distracted. Don't be knocked off your square to where you're not able to see what's happening in front of you and in your surroundings. Like they always say, watch your surroundings. Yes, watch your surroundings. Watch everything that's around you. Okay, pay attention in all ways, all aspects. And that's it. It's a lot.
Now, and to piggyback off that point, if that's going to be your course of action, you definitely can't be emotional about it. Now you can't cry about it. Right. Like the most high is giving us every opportunity to restore our pledge to this covenant. Right. Giving us every opportunity under the sun, giving us every excuse to come back home. And if we choose to do some dumb shit, it's like the chemical counts. Every reason to come back home, every opportunity to come back home. He's giving us every opportunity. Right. Like he's just carving it out for us as plain as day, and you still choose to do something else. Now you can't complain. You cannot complain at all when what you chose to do works against you, because you're choosing your own lust, your own covetousness, your own understanding, instead of choosing the Most High's. So select a couple before we close out here, because we read about this. So Proverbs chapter 15 verse 32, he that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. So again, like, it might not be the easiest thing, because like you're talking about getting checked, you're talking about instruction, you're talking about hearing reproof, you're talking about getting checked. Now, if you do that with confidence and esteem and accountability, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna shy away from it. You do it with strength. That's what I'm saying. Like, take that checking with brotherhood. Don't let that be the end of the day for you. Don't let that checking make you leave home just because you didn't like how pops talk to you. Again, if that's the situation, if that's your temperament, then you should not be here. Then you should not be trying to learn about your history, to learn about the Bible, to try to be, a good son or a good daughter. Because you might have to hear about yourself, and you might not like what you heard about yourself. So now that might make you want to leave home again, when the whole purpose was to, is to bring you back home. Like, ain't you tired of running around? Ain't you tired of them sleepless nights and having to look over your shoulder? The Lord gave us protection. He gave us a host that watches over us.
Right.
I don't know how you would want to prefer something else.
Right.
It's just, but again, the influences that we have today, Christmas, New Year's is about to go down. You know what? Real quick, before we close out,
take your time.
I wonder what the body count was for New Year's last year.
I'm gonna help you out with that.
Homicide rates for last year.
$2022 or 2021?
22.
Okay. So,
Let's just give them last year, because I'm sure if we were to add that up with 21 and 20 and 19 and so on and so forth, maybe we'll get a clear picture of it. But I just want to see people can grasp. Let's just look at what happened last year, and it's not just in Minnesota.
right.
Like, this is an international calamity. On these specific times of days, again, Christmas, bodies, Halloween, bodies, Thanksgiving, bodies, fights, shootings. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mall of America in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, there was a shooting. Was at Christmas, right before Christmas.
Yeah. So I believe it was like Christmas Eve, or otherwise a day before Christmas, 23rd.
Right before. Can you imagine what that could have been about?
Yeah, Christmas weekend.
Christmas weekend.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that could have been about? All right, so drugs, women, money, that 54-inch flat screen TV. So, like, I don't know if the 54-inch is still a big thing. I don't know if maybe it's 129,000 inches nowadays. I don't know, Salaki. But that Black Friday sale type energy, when people were getting killed. I don't know if y'all know this about America, but people were getting killed over Black Friday events.
Yeah.
Trampled, not even intentionally beaten for a certain product, trampled over.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But like, when you brought that up, trampled over, it wasn't somebody trying to beat them down. It was just running over you to try to get to the checkout or try to get to the aisle where that last PlayStation was on.
You know,
Getting
when
trampled.
I hear Black Friday, I hear like a riot mixed with a mosh pit. That's what I hear.
And that's what it's been like every year. And then again, look at the history of Black Friday. It ain't no coincidence that they call it Black Friday. It's not because they put in their books and their numbers into the black zone, as some people try to claim it. Like that's not the reason to put their numbers back in like the positive or something like that.
Right.
It was because they sold niggas at discount rates right before winter really set in. It's again like you can easily look this stuff up online. We got classes left and right. Like there'd be no excuse to not be able to find the class. If you can't find the class, contact UPK Minnesota. Right. No Cowards Minnesota on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere else. Give us a call. Shoot us a text message. If you can't find a school near you, we'll make sure that you get in touch. Ain't no excuse that you cannot find a school near you though. I know the website is still down right now, but because we are that prevalent on the social media platforms, there's no excuse, no reason why you cannot find us, a school near you. So just to close it out, just getting over time, just to close it out real quick. So again, the hatred that we treat each other with is that same love that we give to our oppressors. We can't seem to wrap our heads around how these other nations seem to have an advantage over us when all we doing is committing crimes against each other. I mean, that's the bulk of the crimes that we doing is against each other. Now, the Most High had given us a recourse to not only correct our actions and our way of life, but to deliver that righteous judgment on earth, so that again our kids ain't never gotta know. They ain't never gotta know what, like the things that we've been through as a people. They ain't never gotta know about that, man. Right. Like we trying to spare them that pain. We trying to spare them that anguish. They ain't never gotta know about the slavery. It's and not to say that we're not going to teach our people about the history and the culture, but to say like they ain't never gotta experience it. They ain't never gotta experience it. They ain't never gotta experience what again crack cocaine has done to their families, what heroin and fentanyl has done to their families, what cigarettes has done to their families, alcoholism. Allowing, giving consideration and negotiating on terms to allow other elements in our community, such as child molestation and rapists and other murderers and drug dealers, because you're gonna have to give them some kind of room to move around in your neighborhood. If you're following under Christianity and Islam and I mean this, that, and the third back shit, crazy scenarios and ideologies. I don't like someone like goddamn. It's so weird how there's so many of them that pop up. So many, like you got like what 50 or 70 pronouns now that you're supposed to memorize for people. You've got over like 2,000, I think, different religions that you're supposed to give some type of credence or reverence to. Why, how, why, and how in WTF? It don't make no sense when we can trace the destruction and decay, especially of our people of Israel, to those mechanisms. Our allegiance and our us providing our resources and energy for their agenda, for their mission, kills our communities.
Right.
It kills us as a people. It kills our customs, our traditions. Because now you got to make way for some fat dude climbing down the chimney. That bro, you ain't got a chimney.
Right.
You ain't got a chimney to begin with. It's like we're gonna end it off right here. Again, you got New Year's coming up. Ain't got nothing to do with our people. Keep your money. It's not a new year. You know that's gonna kick off around spring, according to the biblical narrative of it. That's gonna be at Passover, the Lord's 54th, right? We have 54 now, right? We have 54 with this troop. North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, to be specific. Raleigh, North Carolina, April 1st. Get your travel arrangements. We got Purim coming up. We just got done with the Feast of Dedication, February 22nd to the 23rd. Feast of Purim, kind of just Purim, Slaki, not a feast. If you want to bring some food, ain't nobody gonna stop you. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. And some drink, ain't no wrong with that. Maybe some high five, ain't nobody gonna keep you from it. Again, that's the simplicity in Christ, man. Like it's not that crazy of a concept to believe that our people can be redeemed and that we have our own culture that's outside of what our oppressors had told us we had. Our culture don't start and stop with slavery and with the Aztec Empire, things like that. We had a whole lot of things way before this. So again, get in contact with the school near you. Doors are open, phones are open 24/7. You'd be hard pressed not to find one of us. Stones throw away from you. So with that, we're gonna end the class. I appreciate y'all being with us. Yeah, it's 9:12. Appreciate y'all being with us. So with that, I'm Mayim. Let me stand. Protocol. What? Actual security announcements. ISPK security announcements. We're at ISPK, started out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes in the school, they're off for 6 months. They'll be saluted on. They're here to shut themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ishel. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, and not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. So again, Cash App, $, all caps, UPK Minnesota. Otherwise, you get the Zelle app still to pay tithes and make donations there. Israelite School, first name Israelite School, last name UPK. Email tithes@isupk.com. You can still make donations and pay tithes there. Otherwise, get in contact with the school near you and see if there's any other way that y'all need to go about it. I'll come on all the complications. So we just got them talking about Purim coming up in February, the 12th through the 13th.
22nd.
The 22nd through the 23rd.
Both days sundown.
Both days at sundown. So kicking off on the 22nd at sundown, it would end on the 23rd at sundown.
That's right. Yep. So it's going to be 2 days on a Wednesday and a Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. 2 days. That's it. Again, if you know, click up with the school near you, see what y'all got planned for it. Maybe you're going bowling. I don't know, so like that. But you're gonna be going over the scriptures. When we have in class, it's gonna be a session. So just get prepared for that, and anything that you might be able to contribute to or provide. And then after that, we got April 1st. April 1st, the Lord's 54th annual Passover. It's going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina. Again, hotel rooms, travel arrangements. Make sure you get that unlocked before it gets too late.
That's right.
Otherwise, again, get in contact with the school near you.
That's right.
Make sure that you're in communication with them. If there's any needs, if there's any adjustments that need to be made, make sure that you're communicating with them on a regular basis so that we can get this flowing nice and smooth. So with that, Mariam, me stand. We'll find out the dome, turn face east. You say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, you can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verse 8 through 13. Avanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak, Taba'ah, Ratazak, Hayah, Aisha, Barataza, Kawah, Hayah, Bashaman, Thundanaw, Lakam, Kol, Yawam, Basalakana, Kabuwatna, Kasalakna, Kabuwatina, Wala'ah, Tabiyan, Sawan, Abal, Shana, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Hata Parah, Aman, in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. Pray to bless Israel in the evening. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barak Lanau, Yashal, Habaya, Sapar, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magan. At this time, you can say the name of a loved one once, and we'll repeat that name once. If you're following us on social media, you can type in the name of a loved one, we'll send a prayers up with you. Yahweh Shai, the angels, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the students, the sisters, the children, all of Israel. Israelite School UPK. ISUPK Minnesota. Amungabar, Maccabia, Sapar, Tarak, Kodash, Kana, Kawan, the Lawyers, Cordelia, the Bar, Zimrat, Diana, Izara, Sister South Dakota. Salag, if I'm mispronouncing this, Madana. Salag. Yep. Yaquar. Salag, give me 1 second. Ayan Lanawa. Zaquan. Rapayala. Kanaya. Michelle. Serenity. Walter. Aaron. Roland. Jackie. All of Israel. The Rollins family. Peterson family. The Patterson family. The Willis family. The Slaughter family. The Daniel family. The Wagner family. All of Israel. Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
Became Minnesota.
Oh, select. Maracapa.
Maracapa.
Rakawana.
Kawana.
Taziyat.
Taziyat.
Iparaka.
Paraka.
Sharat.
Sharat.
You got it.
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK.
Became Minnesota.
UPK Minnesota.
UPK Reds.
UPK Reds.
UPK Chicago.
UPK Chicago.
Became Milwaukee.
UPK Milwaukee.
Maracapa.
Maracapa.
Maccabi.
Maccabi.
The House of Walter.
Say it again.
The House of Walter.
House of Walter.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Jamie. Annalie.
Annalie.
Raphael.
McIntosh
family.
family.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. Oh, select. Kawah.
Kawah.
That's it.
Bashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahushua.
Dwight Alman.
Kawah Aman.
In English, Lord name Yahushua.
Lord name Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
In the school.
In the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
Alert.
Love.
In the name Yahushua.
Name Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
It's like, thank you, so be it.
Thank you so big.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Name Yahushua.
Name Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
To leave and curse.
To use the curse.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against
That
us.
speak against
Our
us.
prophets.
Like prophets.
Teachers.
The teacher.
The princes.
The prince.
The priests.
The priest.
Israelite brothers.
Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
To leave us a curse.
To use the curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake
The
loose.
treasure of the rich of Israel.
The church of the rich of
That
Israel.
refuse to give it to the school.
They refuse to go to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter thy sanctuary.
Into thy
To
sanctuary.
leave us a curse.
To use the curses.
Punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To Edomites.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And their drug
And
dealers.
the drug dealers.
Court
And the
system.
court system.
Prison
And
system.
the prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and arms.
Amalek synagogues and
Roman
armies.
Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinhead.
Proselytizers.
Proselytizers.
Gay movement.
The gay movement.
Lesbian.
The lesbians.
Spies.
Spies.
Works of witchcraft.
Works of witchcraft.
That's a space
That's
program.
a space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And airways.
And airways.
Cable access channel.
Cable access
And the
channel.
radio
And
channel.
the radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the
of
spirit.
any of thy people
Bring thy people.
that seek to stop
That
us
seek to stop
and bring swift destruction
and bring swift
to
destruction
all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way.
that stand in the way.
Try to stop us
Try to stop
from broadcasting your word
broadcast your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plague.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro
Cause go to and fro.
through the earth and consume them.
The earth consumed.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief
Let the flesh hit the house of the thief
and the murder.
and the murder.
The Yahushua,
The
Michael
Yahushua.
and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel.
and down to flying saucers.
Down to flying saucers.
Punish all the heathen
Punish all the heathen
that come up against
that come up
us
against us.
as we speak thy word.
And speak thy word.
Cause it be known by all
Cause we know by all.
that it's the angels that have
And
done.
the angels that have done.
Cause it be spread through the media
Cause it spread through the media.
throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake it that come.
Cause to shake out that
And
come.
then Yahushua,
Maybe Yahushua.
thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
So off to the front. Men of Israel, Barak Shabbat, Mighty, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barak.
Yazamata, courtesy salute for the sisters, sorry to the sisters in the school. Men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Mighty, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Yazamata, class dismissed.